Hello, and welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Welcome to my channel, Darlene J. Clark. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching, and please remember to comment and subscribe. Thank you all so much. I always like starting out with the Bible verses. In Matthew 18, verse 6, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, than he was drowned in the depth of the sea. Matthew 18, verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. In Colossians 3:21, fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Need to remember to learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take out the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. Thank you for coming, who's ever here. I appreciate you. And I will go ahead and play the copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips and balance in favor of fair use. Thank you for coming. Without further ado, I will go ahead and show. Hey there, Lane and Dot, Crackton and Shannon. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. How are you doing today? Good to see you. The internet keeps messing up. Hey there, bro. Good to see you. This is the part of the proof that I had said about the person that I had known. This is further to proof that, and I believe it all needs to be revealed too. I'm doing fair to Midland. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is an Alabama man accused of sexually abusing two young girls within 2 months. This was after I left this jerk, right? But I had told y'all the other day of a memory about him having the porno pictures on his computer too. And I knew I had to get out. An Alabama man was on bond for child sexual abuse charges when another young girl came forward with new accusations this week. The suspect, Russell Keith Herring, is now back in the Marshall County Jail on new charges. This was, like I said, 2014. There he is, right here. It's in the Marshall County Jail in Alabama. Marshall County Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Reynolds said Herring, 55, was first arrested on June the 12th and involved a girl less than 12 years old. The girl told authorities he fathered her while she was visiting him in his home. Reynolds said he was charged with sexual abuse of a child less than 12 years old. Herring was on bond when a 13-year-old girl came forward with similar allegations. She told authorities Herring entered her home while she was asleep. Hear that? She entered the home. He entered the home Well, she was asleep. A little bitty girl. So that means he broke in to the home. That's true. But I know this one personally, which is sad. She said she woke up to find he took her pants off. The girl alleges this happened in May. Reynolds said it is not clear yet if he broke into the 13-year-old's home or had access to it, but burglary charges ensued. Marshall County deputies arrested Herring again on Thursday. He faces new charges of second-degree sexual abuse and second-degree burglary. Jail records show his bond is $500,000. Okay, bucket list. Yeah, it's a shame, ain't it? If I knew what kind of person he was, I would have never been his girlfriend, okay? But I left him when I had found out, like I said, but I could. Here's an update. This was a couple of days later, which was July the 29th. There's got to be more than just the pedophilia here. There's more in here I'll show y'all in a few minutes. An admirable man charged with sexual abuse decided to enter a guilty plea before his case had been presented to a grand jury. Admirable police arrested Russell Keith Herring, 55, back in June. Now he's 61, okay? Or 65. I think this was in 2014, so it's been 10 years. So he's right at 65. In April, I believe, I can't remember what exact month now. Mr. Herring was accused and ultimately pled guilty to molesting by touching in the private area a 9-year-old girl. If I'm not mistaken, this was his own niece. This was his own niece. Then another victim came forward who was 13-year-old, accused Mr. Herring of actually, when she was sleeping, walking into her house and pulling her pants down and lifting her shirt up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I tried to tell the Alabama Bureau investigation, but they did nothing. Until I end up finding this further thing in a few minutes. Last week, Herring decided to enter a guilty plea and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Now these children won't have to get on the stand and look in 12 strangers' eyes and give some of the most intimate details of something that they experience and have to live with forever. So I'm thankful that Mr. Herring decided to do the right thing and go ahead and plead guilty early and not drag it out for the victims. No, there was more to it than that, y'all. It's not saying that fact that he went on the run and he actually showed up here. I was warned that he would try to show up here, so I went elsewhere down the road and I hid. And yes, he did show up. I was afraid he would try to kidnap me and use me, force me, use me as a shield type of thing. So I left my house and I hid. And he was caught in Texas. So he ran from Alabama. He went to and stole a vehicle somewhere in Florida, and then he ended up coming to Tennessee, partner, and then he ended up going to Texas. They caught him in Lubbock, Texas. That's where they arrested him, and they brought him back to Alabama. So I wish they would have went ahead and said that part too. You know what I'm saying? Hello there, Outback. Good to see you. Hey there, Jackie. Welcome back, girl. So now I went ahead and I paid for a subscription to Court Case Records Report, right? And here he is right here. Okay, it says his birthday's in March, so sometime in March, I don't even remember the date. And really, in a way, that's good. I don't want to remember him too much, do I? But it's kind of weird how they said right here that his current address was 1804 Carlisle Avenue, Guntersville, Alabama. That's the sheriff's department. But however, I'll find out. I'll show y'all something else in a few minutes that I've seen. Okay, get down here. So I'm going to make it smaller. This was in 7/22/2014. He was released on written court order. He just had to stay in jail 80 days. That's all, y'all. That is all that they sentenced him with bond. So he got out of jail. Hello, Jackie. See, it says how released him was other jurisdiction. They did arrest him in Texas. Yeah, all he got was 80 days. So guess what? He got out of jail and then he molested somebody else. Y'all see that? You notice that, right? Here's where here's a charge one. Sexual abuse in the second degree. He had a surety bond. Yes, $500,000 surety bond. But really, I don't think you need to go ahead and give any kind of bond. If you ask me, they should have no kind of bond at all. Okay, and see, look at charge 3 right here. Well, see, it's burglary in the second degree is the second charge, right? And charge 3 is sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12. Y'all see that right there? So we'll go to the second thing, which is another 7/22, and see if it's any different, okay? Here is the burglary in the second, sexual abuse in the second. So that's because, like we said, there were 2 different girls, right? Okay, now let's fast forward to August the 22nd, 2014, which was a month later. Now it states that he is in the Beatrice Correctional Center. His release date is July the 15th, 2024, which means he's going to be released this year. This year. I had told them about all the pedophilia. Like he had like hundreds and hundreds of child porno, 6 sadistic porno pictures. Things that the kids wrecked them, everything. I don't want to be too graphic, but I'll leave it at that, okay? It says time served. He was 2 years, 11 months at this time. Jail credit, 36. Good time received. He don't get no good time received. He don't, and a good time revoked, none. Parole status, no hearing. His sentence is 10 years. And look at this. See what this charge 1 is? Thank you for support and getting to know. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Look at there. And y'all wonder what offenses public health morals B felony is, right? That's his charge. So I had to look it up and find out what that means, right? Of course, so that we can further understand what this is about. Here it is right here. It is the possession with intent to disseminate obscene matter containing visual depiction of persons under 17 years of age involved in obscene acts. Any person who knowingly possesses with intent to disseminate any obscene matter that contains a visual depiction of a person under the age of 17 years engaged in any act of sadomasochistic abuse, sexual intercourse, sexual excitement, masturbation, breast nudity, genital nudity, or other sexual conduct shall be guilty of a Class B felony. Possession of 3 or more copies of the same visual depiction contained in obscene matter is prima facie evidence of possession with intent to disseminate the same. My wonder his thing is, did they find it in his computer? If he found it in his computer, why did he not get charged for every picture that he had of every person, of every minor that he had on his laptop? Why was he not charged with every one of them, right? That's what I'm wondering. Because then he would not be able to get out of jail where he could predator somebody else, where he could do these things. I thank God that his manhood stopped working a long time ago. But like I said, a lot of people say cut the thing off and they won't do anything. That's a lie because he couldn't use his. But he still broke into these girls' homes and used his hands and doing these sexual things to the kids. So it don't matter if they had their wafer cut off or whatever. He still, even though he wasn't able to use it no more, he still used his hands and he violated these kids. That's why I say it don't matter about having it cut off. Because I know personally, firsthand experience, because of this stupid guy. I will call it stupid. I will call him, and it's not a matter because I'm an ex, it's a matter because I am a survivor and I'll speak up to protect the kids. These are crazy things, and I believe that this person should serve more jail time than what he has got. Because all they before was like 80 days, and then he did it again, so they put him back in jail, and then they got 10 years. And that thing says 10 years for this other crime, but then he didn't really, he got a slap on the wrist and out of jail was able to make that bond. How crazy is that, y'all? Any person who knowingly possesses any obscene matter that contains a visual depiction of a person under the age of 17 engaged in any act of sadomasochistic abuse, sexual intercourse, sexual excitement, masturbation, genital nudity, or other sexual conduct shall be guilty of a Class C. But see, he was charged with a Class B, the one that's stated above here. Any person who knowingly possesses with intent to disseminate any obscene matter that contains a visual depiction of a person under the age of 17 years engaged in any act of sadomasochistic abuse, sexual intercourse, sexual excitement, masturbation, breast nudity, genital nudity, and other sexual conduct. And it says possession of 3 or more copies of the same visual depiction contained in a obscene matter is prima facie evidence of possession with intent to disseminate the same. So we know he had over 3 pictures of similar, where he had pictures of. See, I know this firsthand because I saw it there. I was there. I lived with him, and I saw all this. I knew I needed to get out. Okay. I was going to college, just getting grant money and all that. And it didn't take long after I left that he did this stuff. And he also did, he had a friend's, when I was living with him, a friend of ours let me have the kids. And he was holding one of the girls, and he had a blanket. And I kept seeing the blanket moving at her private area, right? So I went over there and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Nothing. She's cold." I went like this and moved the cover and got her over there to me, and I would not let him be around her again. And I tried to call the mom. I tried to warn her. And I can't help but wonder if this was the one where the mama, they finally got in trouble because of that, because I did tell the mama that about what had happened. But why did it take so long to prosecute? Because I left him back in 2010. This was 2014, right? This had to be another child coming into the home, right? This is sick, sadistic. Have a good night. Good to know. I appreciate you. Welcome. So anyway, now I know what that's about. So if y'all ever see the arrest warrant with somebody having that, like that I had right here, offenses, public health, morals, be felony, I looked it up and that's what come up. So I wanted to thank everybody. I was telling y'all that the other day I had memories of this, and so it bothered me till I looked it up. And so now I found it and I got the proof behind the pudding, if y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not out for revenge. I'm out to bring awareness. I want to say thank y'all for coming and supporting. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And y'all have a blessed day. Do some things for y'all. Do some things special. Enjoy your time. Maybe if you got a kid in a family or anything, you could go spend time with them. Maybe they need a little bit of attention from a loving, caring relative. And y'all, be safe. Thank you. Be hyper vigilant. Good night, all. Thank you so much, Jackie. I appreciate it. This is tough getting the word out about even people you know. And I know it's not my fault for what he done. He did this on himself. And I'm glad I got far away from him. But I did fall back into the routine of thinking that he wasn't going to mess with nobody, right? And this was before I knew he did predator these girls. And they come over, we went to karaoke, but we never did anything else. And I think that was like one time. And if he was I hope to God he don't never come back when he gets out of jail. I think I'm going to keep the doors locked. I don't want him in my home at all. I would have to call the police. Y'all, please be hyper vigilant. And I'm sorry to say, but I'm a survivor as well, and so sometimes I fall short and trust in the wrong people. And I say, God bless y'all.